Welcome back to another rebuilding video. In this video, I'm going to be rebuilding the New York Breakers. The New York Breakers are probably one of the worst teams in the ISL throughout the 3 years that they've been on. And, look at their team. They all have Abby Wood, Brendan Smith, and I think Michael Andrew was kind of like the franchise swimmer for this team, but decided not to swim in the ISL Season 3. And, this team, looking at this roster, there's a lot of people that are not really known, except for a couple swimmers like Merit Steenbergen, Netherlands swimmer that's really rising to the occasion, and then David Popovich, who I don't even think he can swim in the ISL, but is on the roster. Certainly he's really good in the simulation. And then Tess Schuten, another Netherlands swimmer who swims breaststroke. So that's like three swimmers I'm going to try to rebuild around, and everyone else on this roster, maybe not so much. So we'll see how this roster looks throughout this rebuild. Alright, so again, for these rebuilding videos, I'm going to keep all the settings as realistic as possible to the ISL. So jackpots, minimum time standards, skin selection is going to be the same, and then recovery rate fatigue. The only thing I'm not going to keep realistic is the trades, so that's going to be a little bit different, and then the draft type is going to be the same as well. I just want to show you that looking at the power rankings for this year, we are projected to be the worst team, which is probably going to be our plan. Probably going to tank for this season and then try to rebuild from that year to the next year. So we'll see how that works. All right, so looking at this roster, we could try to sign some free agents. Probably not going to sign that many people just because obviously we don't want to be that good. So we do need a female breaststroke sprinter. We do have Tess Schuten, but she's more in the 100 and 200 range, so we can sign Laura Van Niekerk. So I'm going to sign her to a contract. And then, so now we have sprint breaststrokers. I'm going to try to propose a trade and try to trade Abby Wood and Brendan Smith for Camden Murphy, Anna Hopkin, and try to snag a 2025 best pick and a 2026 worst pick. So let's see if they actually accept this trade. I don't believe so we might have to bargain with them. Okay, so they declined that offer. So maybe we can try to pick a different team. So maybe maybe an Aqua Centurions, who might not be projected to do that well, but maybe we can try to snag some of their best picks. So let's try to negotiate with the Aqua Centurions. Let's throw in Abby Wood, Brendan Smith, and let's try to maybe Alessandra Moresi, and then we have to throw in a female somewhere. So let's throw in Kathleen Dawson, and then let's try to see if we can snag some 2025 best pick. Let's try to snag their 25 and 26 best pick. So let's see if they accept this trade. Okay, so they declined that trade, so let's try that. Let's try maybe just one pick. Let's see if they accept that. Okay, so they accept this offer. So now we have Alessandra Moresi and Kathleen Dawson. Now we also have their best pick in 2025. All right, so I just approached the first match of the season, and like I said, we're not going to be that good at all this season, so I'm just going to let the computer simulate the lineup. And obviously, we're kind of short on rosters. We have 3 more spots for the male side and then 2 more for the female side. So this is what the CPU has, and overall, I'm okay with it. Probably would have had David Popovich. Maybe not. We just try to take him out and put her on the relay. Put him on the relay, and then put Moresi on the B relay, and then. Yeah, it looks like I'm okay with this lineup, and then Moresi, Popovich. Actually, let me see something. Let's see if who's faster on the 100 freestyle. Would it be Popovich or Moresi? So Moresi actually has the faster 100 freestyle time. So let's actually switch that. So let's take out. Let's swap that, and then let's put Popovich in the second B relay, and then Popovich in the 2-3, yeah, so that's going to be it for the lineup. This is the lineup I'm going to be rolling with. I'm going to save it, and let's see where we are at the end of the regular season. All right, so I just finished simulating the regular season, and Caleb Dressel wins MVP. I don't think I've ever seen Caleb Dressel not win MVP in the simulation. And so Rookie of the Year was Reagan Smith, the Aqua Centurions, 30 points per match around. Most improved swimmer was Emery Sachi, Team Iron, who's also really good in the simulation, especially the 50 breaststroke skins. And then GM Coach of the Year goes to the Lemon Roar, with almost a perfect season, 23 points, first seed overall, and 524 points per match. And if you kind of look at the standings, yeah, we didn't win a match. We got fourth place overall in all our matches, and yeah. So then Lemon Roar, Energy Standard, Aqua, and Toronto are the top 4 teams, and then we go to the ISL teams. We have Soystrom, King McIntosh, and Belmonte for the A team. Dressel, Murphy, Klesnikov, Simonovic for the men, and then Hansen, McColligan, Gastadello, Haughey, and then Morozov, Leclos, Stewart, and Seto. And then for the C team is Militite, Lesiak, Atherton, Kylie Moss, and then Shields, Sachi, Fink, and Chalmers. So that's the all ISL teams. And then kind of look at the kind of like our standing or our team stats. It was Merritt Steenbergen leading our team with 24.3 points per match, which is pretty low. So we're gonna have to get some starts at the tower. Followed by David Popovich, that 19 points per match. Van Eekirk, Alessandro Moresi, and Teshun as our top 5 scorers. And then a couple of other things I'll show you is that I did make one trade. I did trade Michael Koch, and I traded a worst pick 2027 to Energy Standard for Energy Standard's best pick in 2024, and for Charlie Swanson. And then a couple other trades happened. This trade was pretty big. It was trading Mark Nikolaev to the Aqua Centurions for Albiero Martineggi, so that's a pretty big trade. And yeah, so that's where we are. Again, I showed you that we are most likely not going to make the playoffs unless we somehow miraculously win the play-in tournament. So I'm going to simulate the rest of the season, see who wins the championship. Right, one thing I forgot to show you is the All-Stars for the 2023 season, and Sarah Stroystrom and Caleb Dresser are the team captains, and then here are all the other participants. And let's see if we actually get any New York Breakers on the All-Star teams. And we do get Merritt Steenbergen, and do we get David Popovich? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, so David Popovich doesn't make it, so maybe next year when we actually have a squad. So again, I'm going to simulate to the end of the regular season and the playoffs and see what happens. All right, so I just finished simulating the ISL regular season, and if you look at the scores for the final, the ISL final, London Roar actually won pretty convincingly, almost by 100 points. So yeah, they're going to be a team that we have to reckon with. So if you simulate to the off season, here we have a couple of swimmers retiring. It doesn't look like we didn't lose anyone from the off in here. All right, swimmer retainment, and so let's actually pick up Steenbergen, obviously, and then Moresi and Popovich. I'll pick up Zarkova, Schutten, Torres, Chimrova, and then so we have 7 right now. Let's go Litchfield, Bronsweg, that's how you pronounce it, Temple, Charlie Swanson, and then so we have 11 right now. Pick up Van Eekirk. I guess we can pick up Kathleen Dawson, and then we'll just pick up Tomac, and I have no idea how to pronounce that name. And then so that's 15 right there. See if there's anyone else you want to pick up that we're missing, even though we're at 15. So that's going to be it for that. So let's continue. All right, so the ISL draft, we obviously have the worst record in the league, so which means we get the first and third overall pick. And looks like we have a couple of good names. We have Maggie McNeil, Kate Douglas in the 2023 draft class, Taylor Ruck, Hugo Gonzalez, and Sidney Pickram, who was not picked up by the London Roar, Sun Wu, Mark Galeev, Finley Knox, Tom Dean, Sax W. Cook, a couple of really good names in here that weren't actually picked up here. So let's actually make our first pick. We're going to draft probably a obvious name. Let's go with Maggie McNeil as our first overall pick. All right, third pick. So I could just take it, Kate Douglas, even though we did that in the last video, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm actually gonna pick up a male swimmer. So could look at Tom Dean, but we do have David Popovich, so that might not be the greatest pick. So we could go for Hugo Gonzalez, who can be our 200 and 400 IMer. So let's pick up Hugo Gonzalez. All right, pick number 7, and let's see who we can try to get. So Kate Douglas was just taken by the Toronto Titans, so we could look at Taylor Ruck, but we also do have Merritt Steenbergen, who swims essentially the same events, like the 200 and 100 freestyle. So we could look at Sidney Pickram, who could fill that IM role. But of course, we already have Stanley Steenbergen again. And we already have shooting for the breaststroker, so I think I'll pass on Sidney Pickram. So we could go look at Hansen, maybe. That's kind of like our secondary breaststroker. We have Van Niekerk already, so maybe not. Could look at Kelly Pash. We can kind of swim our butterfly role, but we just picked up Maggie McNeil, so maybe not the greatest pick. So we can go with Lanny Pallister. Or maybe we could try to pick up a male swimmer since we're down one spot. So we could look at Finley Knox maybe, but just picked up we just picked up Hugo Gonzalez, so I think for now I'm going to take I think Mitch Larkin kind of makes sense because we do need a backstroker, so let's take Mitch Larkin for our 7th pick. Our now 13th pick now. I do see we have Ben Proud. Who's also a really good pickup. Something like the 50 free, 50 fly. Especially good for the skin, so let's actually pick up Ben Proud because we need some sprinting depth. Even though he won't really provide anything for the relays, we can pick up him. All right, 20 picks in, and it looks like Sidney Pickram is still actually on the board. So even though we already have her IMer with Merritt Steenbergen, we can pick up Cindy. I think Pickram is a good pick. So let's pick up her. All right, pick 31 now, and let's pick up I think Lanny Pallister is a good pick, so let's get her so we can get out of that distance swimming. So for the 200 and 400 distances, so let's pick up her. I want to see if I can try to propose a trade with the LA Current and try to pick up another better backstroker. So I'm going to trade Kathleen Dawson and 2 current draft picks for Kathleen Baker, a worse pick, and then Madison Wilson. So let's see if they accept this trade. Okay, so they declined that trade. So maybe we can try to take out this worst pick, and let's see if they accept that. Okay, so they don't accept that trade. So maybe let's just take out Maddie Wilson, and then how about pick 87. So let's see if they accept this one. Okay, so they declined that trade. So maybe how about just Kathleen Baker for Kathleen Dawson and 2 ISL picks. So let's see if they accept this. Okay, they accept that trade. So now we have Kathleen Baker on the team. All right, back to the draft. We have pick 51, and I'm going to take a breaststroker because we need breaststroker. So I'm going to take Casper Kerbo. I think that's going to be the last pick I'm going to make for the draft. We do have a couple more picks to make, but I'm just going to skip to the end of the draft. All right, so I just finished the ISL draft, and the rest of my picks were Corbeau, Gonzalez, Larkin. I also picked up Brendan Burns of Indiana. Who else did I pick? Natalie Hines. Tessa Splucha, and Denny Lanza. So yeah, those are the rest of my picks. So free agency looks like most of our roster is already filled out. So I'm probably gonna make a couple. I'm probably gonna do a couple days and fill out a couple rosters. So the first person I'm going to sign is Brendan Smith, who was actually a former New York Breaker, and so we traded him. So it could be like a backup to Hugo Gonzalez, and then a backup to Felix Zablok in the 400 free. So let's sign Brendan Smith. Also going to get Tatiana Schoonmaker, who's for like a backup breaststroker, so we can get 100 breaststroker and a 200 breaststroker behind Schouten and Van Niekerk, so we get our third breaststroker. Third swimmer we're going to pick up is Brooks Curry. I'm also going to sign Kate Campbell as well to get some relay swimmers. And then with the last spot, I'm going to sign Sheridan Dressel, so that'll be our fifth swimmer to offer, and let's see who we get on the first day. After the first day, we don't get anyone. We lose out on Kate Campbell, so just got to wait another day. I'm going to try and negotiate a trade with the London Roar and try to trade away Joe Litchfield, Chimrova, and Bron Swag for London's 2025 best pick and worst pick in best pick in 26. So let's see if they accept this offer. Okay, so they agreed to that offer. Back to day 2 of free agency, we still have one more extra spot to sign. So let's pick up Jesse Putz. And after day 2, we miss out on Brendan Smith and Schoonmaker, and we don't get anyone to sign. Day 3 of free agency, we have 2 extra roster spots, or 2 extra spots we can sign, so let's sign Grant House to a deal. And then I'm also going to sign Hunter Armstrong to a deal. Alright, and then we actually get 4 swimmers this time. So now we're getting some luck this time. Alright, day 4 of free agency, and I'm going to pick up Barbora Simonova. I'm also going to sign Isabella Heinley. And after day 4, we pick up Grant House, and the other 2 swimmers that we had didn't sign yet, so we'll hopefully just wait for them. Alright, day 5 now, and I'm going to sign Cody Miller to a deal. And I'm also going to sign Taylor Lovemore, because we need some butterfly swimmers, so let's sign her. At the end of day 5 actually, we get Taylor Lovemore. We don't get the other 3 swimmers that we signed to a deal, and we lose out on Simonova. Alright, so after day 6, we pick up Cody Miller, so let's pick up him. Alright, day 7 of free agency, and our only swimmer that we've had signed, Isabella Henley, signed for a different team, Team Iron, so I think that's going to be it for free agency. Basically I'm just going to stimulate the rest of free agency and then start the regular season. Alright, so I just finished simulating the 2023 off season. So, and if you look at here, these are the projections for the power rankings of the 2023 season. So, last year we were ranked dead last, 10th overall, and which actually came true. And now we are 7th, with Cali, Aqua, Toronto, and Energy leading the way as the top 4. So, we have 4 spots up, and hopefully we can actually make progress and make the playoffs this year. So that's my goal for this year. So let's see how we do. All right, so this is like my lineup that I made. I actually already made it already. So I have Maggie, Sokova, and the Fly, Tempo, Lanza, and then Baker, Dressel, Sheridan Dressel for 2 back, and with Mitch Larkin and Manitobac, and then Schouten, Pickrum, Cody Miller, Casper Corbeau, and the 2 breast. And then Maggie also in the 50 free. I support in the 50, basically all the 50s. 50 back, 50 breast, or not 50, 50 fly, excuse me. And then, we have Sydney Pickram here, 2 IM. Ben Proud, Jesse Putz in the 50 free. Gonzalez, Larkin, Cody Miller, Casper Corbeau in the 50 breaststroke. And then Hunter Armstrong, Mitch Larkin in the 50 back. Felix Zablok, Bobby Fink, which the CPU actually signed before, so which is pretty cool. And then looking at our relays, our relays look really good with Baker, Schouten, Big Neil, and Steenbergen, which that's a solid 4 right there. And then Larkin, Corbeau, Matt Temple, Moresi, and then our B relay here, Armstrong, Miller, Lanza, and Popovich. That's a really good 4 right there. And then Day 2 events, you have Steenbergen, McNeil, Moresi, Popovich as our 103 stylers. And then, I guess going down a little bit more, you have Mitch Larkin, Hunter Armstrong, and then Kathleen Baker, Sheridan Dressel, and the 100 back as well. And then we have Merritt Steenbergen, 100 IM, Grant House, Vinny Lanza, Corbo Miller, 100 breaststroke with Tess shooting in. And then Maggie McNeil, like I said, was also in the 50 butterfly with Ben Proud, Jesse Putz, and then Merritt Steenbergen, Lonnie Pallister for our 2 free with David Popovich and Felix Zabach. And then Mitch Larkin, Corbeau, McNeil, Hines in the 4x1 mixed relay with Baker, Shooten, Temple, Moresi in the RP relay. And then 4IM, we got Tesla Shaplucha and Pickram. And then Hugo Gonzalez and Bobby Fink in their men's 400 IM. So this is the line I'm going to be rolling with for the entire season. And let's see how we do. All right, at the end of the season, Caleb Dressel wins MVP just like usual, averaging 74.8 points per match. We do get Rookie of the Year with Maggie McNeil, 65.4 points per match for the Breakers. And most improved overall is Madison Wilson for the LA Current. And then GM Coach of the Year is Jason Lezak. All ISL teams, we have Maggie McNeil and Summer McIntosh, Soystrom McKeon for the A relay with Dressel, Morozov, Seto, and Shemanovich. B relay, we have Penny Alexiak, King, Okalian, and Hanik with Sachi, Manadu, Stewart, and Murphy. And then C relay, we don't have any other New York Breakers. Hansen, Milatite, Atherton, Belmonte, and then Leclos, Klesnikov, Milak, and Petey. Looking at the regular season standings, we actually finished 4th, which is much better than what we did last year with 10th. So, big improvement up there. And then looking at our team stats, Maggie McNeil obviously leading the way. You know, she's really good in the simulation, 65.4 points per match. And then Mitch Larkin with 30.5, big pickup there. Steenbergen 25.3, Gonzalez 23.7 points per match. Then Ben Proud, and then Kathleen Baker. I want to see where David Popovich was, because I knew I was really high on him, but didn't see David Popovich. Not bad. I mean, 18.8 points match. We'd like to be a little bit higher, but it is what it is. A couple of interesting trades that went down during the season. Energy Standard trading Sophie Harvey to Toronto for Kayla Sanchez, and then Helena Gasson traded to Aqua for Kaylee Corbett, and then T. Meyer. This is a big trade right here. Lorenzo Mora traded to the Titans for Arnold Kamingos. It's a pretty interesting trade right there. All-Stars this year, we have Maggie McNeil as a team captain, along with Caleb Dressel. That's pretty cool. And then, looking down the list, see if you have any other New York Breakers in here. You have Merritt Steenbergen here, and we also have Mitch Larkin right here. So, we get 2 Breakers, and looks like David Popovich didn't make it. So, yeah, not bad, but so yeah, I'm going to simulate the rest of the season and the playoffs as well, and let's see how we do. Alright, so I just simulated the playoffs, and we actually did make the playoffs, but we are in the play-in tournament to make the finals. So if you kind of look at the standings here, we were 4th in the rankings, which means T. Meyer and Alon Roar, defending champions, actually fall out, which means we're going to face the Aqua Centurion, Tokyo Frog Kings, and the Toronto Titans. So, and then Cali Condors and Energy Standard clinch the finals. So let's see how this match goes. Alright, so I'm at the halfway point through this playoffs wildcard match, and we are actually tied for first place. And right now, we're just hoping that we can finish in the top 2. Finishing the top 2, we advance to the final. But if we finish 3rd or 4th, we get eliminated. So, and that's my goal, to try to make the ISL final. So let's see, and hope the simulation is on our side. And we're about 20 points ahead of 3rd place, so not looking good here. So let's see what happens. Alright, coming down to the stretch here, we're on event 38 for the skins, and hopefully we get some good luck here, because we are up by about 40 points against the Tokyo Frog Kings, and big big points right there, and we actually take the lead here by almost 20 points ish. And hopefully the third event goes, or a third round of skins goes. And yep, there you go. So now we're actually in the lead by 40 points. It looks like we would be going to the ISL final. Okay, there you see the final scores. 496 points. And yep, Maggie McNeil was the MVP with 90 points. And then Tokyo Frog Kings and Toronto Titans have been eliminated, so that's good. So, and then yeah, Maggie McNeil's absolute beast in the simulation. Like I said, like 20 times. But let's see how we were projected to finish in this playoff match. I think we were probably like the favorites going into this. I mean, yeah, so right around our average, 494 points. We actually scored 2 more points than our average, but yeah. So it looks like we'll be going on to the final. All right, on to the ISL final, and looks like we are versing Cali Condors, Energy Standard, and Aqua Centurions. Right now, I'm looking at this Cali Condor roster, and like, this is a really stacked roster. You got Dressel, King, Stewart, Fink, Smalika, DeWard, Nelson, Justin Rez, Kia Melverton, Kate Campbell, Molly Hannis, Michael Andrew, Trenton Julian, and then even like down here, you got Sax Dolby Cook, Haley Flickener, Tom Dean, Sun Wu. This is like a really stacked roster, so like this is the team to beat next year. So, and even Energy Standard, which was like I think the second best team. You know, they still have their core of Shoystrom, Shimanovic, and Manadu, Leclos, Emily Seabaum, Klesnikov, Shalhi. So, and then even down here, Finley Knox, James Guy, Kayla Sanchez, who they traded for. So this is probably going to be a really good team to get to beat. So let's see how we do in the finals. All right, I'm in the ISL final right now, and I'm just simulating the rest of the event. And looks like we're not going to win, obviously. Calicanos again are just stacked, but there is a good battle for a third and fourth between us and Aqua. So let's see how that plays out. And 50 fly skins. Do we get Maggie McNeil? Oh, no, we don't get Maggie McNeil to not advance, so big loss on that. And then the men's skins, 50 backstroke skins. We do get Hunter Armstrong to do good in this event. And we end up finishing third. So Cali wins the championship with Caleb Dressel winning ISL Finals MVP with 84 points. And then we finished third with Maggie McNeil leading the way with 58.5 points. So now to the offseason, let's see how this team shakes up. All right, on to the 2024 offseason. 2024 retirements. We do get a huge number of Summers retiring, and we get a couple of New York Breakers retiring, Cody Miller and Natalie Hines, Lisa Torres. So we're gonna fill up those roster spots. All right, so for Summer entertainments, let's select obviously Maggie McNeil, Steenbergen, Baker. Let's see who else. Go Mitch Larkin, Corbeau, Gonzalez, Moresi, Ben Proud, David Popovich. So we're at 9 right now. And then let's go Sarkova, Shooting, Vikram. And now we got 3 more spots left. So let's think about who we want to bring back. Let's go. We'll keep Lanny Pallister. And then let's go Van Niekerk. And then the last spot, we'll bring back. So we do have. Let's do a male swimmer. So we only have 6 here, and then let's go. We'll keep Matt Temple. So that's going to be my 15 here, and then everyone else is 15 for the other teams. And then yeah, so that's the 15 we're going to pick. Now we're going to go into the ISL draft. All right, so we are on the clock for the ISL draft, and see come here, a bunch of star-studded names with Luca Orlando, Alex Walsh, Tom Dean, Izzy Ivy, Carson Foster, and a couple of other names that didn't get retained, like Flickener, Acevedo, and this is Lucha, who was our former teammate, and now Saxon Cook could be here, Catherine Burkhoff. So a couple of names here. And on the top of the board is Kieran Smiths, and looks like we don't really have any 200, 400 freestylers except for Popovich, who's really only in the 200 freestyle range. So first pick, I'm going to take Kieran Smith.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I can try to propose a blockbuster trade. I'm gonna try to trade Cindy Pickram, Sturkova, and then 4 draft picks. So Aqua's best pick, two London World picks, and also Captain Baker. I'm gonna try to get Summer McIntosh from Toronto Titans. So let's see if they accept this trade. Okay, so it looks like they're interested in this offer. So we might have to replace an asset. So let's see if I can try to take out Sturkova, and then I might have to give up someone that I don't want to. So maybe I think I'm gonna give up Alessandro Moresi because we already have David Popovich. So let's see if they accept this offer. Okay, so they're still not accepting this offer. So maybe we might have to throw in someone like Mitch Larkin, or this is gonna be tough to complete. We might have to throw in Corbo or Gonzalez. So maybe we can try Kasper Corbo. Let's see if they accept this offer. So let's propose it. Okay, so they're still not buying into this offer. So maybe let's try to replace it with another first round pick or something. Okay, I'm gonna replace that with this New York Breakers best pick. So let's see if this goes down. They really don't want to give up Summer McIntosh. So maybe try to replace Corbo or something. I'm gonna try Hugo Gonzalez. Maybe I really don't want to trade him, but let's see if this trade goes down. Okay, so they still don't accept this offer. So maybe Summer McIntosh might not be available. So let's think of it. Maybe you can try to think of a different summer we can try to trade for it. So, all right, I'm going to try to do different summer. So I'm going to try to trade Arina Sakova and draft pick, and then London's best pick for Christoph Mielak and Matt Richards. So let's see if they accept this offer. Okay, so they decline that offer. How about if I throw in? Let's see. What if I throw in Aqua's best pick? So that's 2 first round pick or 2 best picks, and then a 5th round pick and Sakova for Christoph Mielak and Matt Richards. So let's see if this goes through. Okay, so we're getting close. So let's try to throw in another asset. Okay, so I added a 9th round pick, and then my 2025 worst pick for Mielak and Richards. Let's see if this goes through. Okay, so now we got Christoph Mielak, so they agreed to that offer. So Christoph Mielak will fill in that butterfly role for that team, and can't wait to use him. All right, back to the draft. I'm going to take Gabby Albiero for my next pick. So we do some female swimming and try to get some sprinting to our team. So Gabby Albiero is our next pick. Back on the clock, and still need more female swimmers. So I'm actually going to take Erica Brown, who was not retained by the Cali Condors, and to add to our relay depth. So let's take Erica Brown. Back on the clock again, and I do have a decision to make. So we have 9 female swimmers and 10 male swimmers, and you have Andrei Minikov, who's actually not taken surprisingly yet, and who can give us some relay depth, some butterfly sprinting. But we do have Christoph Mielak, or it could take Michelle Coleman, who's also another relay swimmer, or it could take Dakota Luther, who's good at butterfly. So a very interesting choice, but I think for this I'm going to take Andrei Minikov so I can get some sprint stuff and then relay depth. Next pick, I'm going to take Dakota Luther, so he can give us on that butterfly, that's 100 and 200 butterfly slot. And then my next pick, I'm going to take Paige Madden, who can fill out that 200 and 400, that middle distance freestyle roster spot. So let's take her. All right, so the start of free agency, and for some reason it didn't record the first day, so I'll tell you actually what happened. If I go down here, I did offer 5 different offers. 2 of them were Brooks Curry and Hunter Armstrong, and then my other 3 offers were Felix Zabach, Lee Smith, and Sheridan Dressel. First person I'm going to sign is Hannah Rosefall, so we can get a backup backstroker. And then I'm also going to sign Isabella Hindley, so I can get some freestyle depth for the relays. And after day 2, we do miss out on Leah Smith and Sheridan Dressel, but we do get Hindley and Roosevelt. So big losses, but it's whatever. Alright, I'm gonna see if we're gonna try to make a trade with the Aqua Centurions. I'm gonna try to make another blockbuster trade, trading Temple, this London pick that has a lot of value, and then our first round pick next year for Shane Cassis and Tommy Cope. So let's see if they accept this offer. Okay, so they decline that offer. So maybe let's throw in another pick. This is their last year, so hopefully we get this done. So let's throw in our pick next year. So let's see if they accept that. Okay, so they decline that. So let's try. Let's try to throw in another player, maybe, or maybe I'll throw in Andrei Minikov, and then let's see if they accept this. This is giving up a lot here, so okay, they decline that offer. So maybe, all right, last one. I'm just gonna throw in another 2027 pick. So let's see if they accept this. Okay, so they decline that offer. So maybe they don't want to trade Shane Cassis. So yeah, and let's go back to free agency and sign some players. All right, I'm going to sign Takeshi Kawamoto so we get some butterfly depth. I'm also going to bring back Jesse Putz as well. I'm also going to throw out a deal at Anna Elent, Texas Swimmers, but she also has 5 different offers, so if we get her, that's cool. If we don't, that's not a big deal because you already have 2 other breaststrokers. And then with my last offer, I'm going to offer Meg Harris a contract, an Australian swimmer. So let's offer her, and then let's see what we get at the end of day 3. All right, so we do win the Felix Albach sweepstakes, and we get Kawamoto and Meg Harris. And so, yep, welcome to the team. All right, I'm going to retry and make another blockbuster trade, and this time I'm going to try to get Diaceto from the Tokyo Frog Kings, who's an IM breaststroker, and we're going to have to throw a lot of assets on it. So we're going to try to throw Moresi, the London Roar pick, two of our picks, Hugo Gonzalez and Kathleen Baker. So a lot of players for Diaceto. So let's see if they accept it. Okay, so they agree to that offer. Might have been a risky trade. Might have been a lot to give up for, but we're winning now. So we got to go all in. Alright, so after that trade, we are a little thin on the backstroke. We do have Hannah Roosevelt, but she's like our only backstroker, so I'm going to sign Kathleen Dawson to a deal. Let's also get Simonas Billis, so we get some freestyle sprinting again. And then with my last offer, I'm going to offer Chimrova, who has good butterfly ratings. We do need some butterfly. We only have Dakota Luther as like our primary butterflyer, so let's offer her a contract. And then after day 4, we get Jesse Putz, Simonas Billis, and Kathleen Dawson. We do lose out on Anna Elent, but we weren't really concerned about her breaststroker, so not a big deal. Alright, so I realized that I don't have a male breaststroker besides Casper Corbo, besides Diaceto, even though he's probably more for the 200 breaststroke. So I'm going to sign Alessandro Pizzuti. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we'll sign him so we get some breaststroke depth. Let's also sign Anika. I have no idea if I said middle name, but so let's sign her because she has good freestyle rating. So let's get her. I'm also going to sign Kappas to a deal. And then with the last spot, I'm going to sign Usanova to a deal. So let's see who we get on day 5. All right, so we do get Putiniti or Pinzuti and then Chimrova. So let's sign them. All right, day 6, I'm not going to sign anyone. I'm just going to simulate the next day. It's probably my last day, so let's hope they actually sign. All right, so we only get Kappas to sign a deal, so looks like we'll just have to wait till the end of free agency to sign them. So I'm just going to skip to the end of free agency, and I'll see you guys probably at the start of the 2024 season. All right, so at the start of the season, we are projected first now after being 10th last year, or 10th 2 years ago, and then 7th last year. So slowly making our way up. So hopefully that actually stands true. All right, so I'm going to fill out my lineup now, similar to the first day. So let's put Mag McNeil and Gabby Alviero, and then Krzysztof Milik, our new acquisition, and then Minikov. And then 2 back. It's probably our weakness. Is backstroke, so we put Erica Brown, Kathleen Dawson, and Mitch Larkin. And then we have Kieran Smith as our second backstroker. Then Tess Shooten, Sydney Pickram, Diaceto, Casper Corbo. Let's go to 50 freestyle. So let's go with Maggie McNeil, Erica Brown, and then Ben Proud, Simonas Billis, Pickram, Steenbergen, and then Diaceto again, and then let's go with Mitch Larkin. And then let's go with Nzudi and Corbo, and then Van Eekirk, and then Tess Shooten. And then let's go 50 backstroke. Let's go McNeil, Rosval, and then Shane Ryan, Hunter Armstrong, 400 freestyle, Lanny Pallister, and then Kappas. I don't know how to say her first name, but and then Kieran Smith, Felix Zabak, and then let's do the medley relay. Let's go McNeil. McNeil's our fastest 100 backstroker. I think we're going to put Rosval, and then Shooten, McNeil, Steenbergen, and then Kathleen Dawson, Van Eekirk, Gabby Albiero, and Erica Brown. And then Mitch Larkin, Shane Ryan is our backup, Corbo, and then we have to go Diaceto as our 100 breaststroker, Yelak, Minikoff, then David Popovich, Matt Richards. And then 100 freestyle, let's go with Steenbergen, Erica Brown, David Popovich, and I guess we have to go with Christoph Milak. Actually, no, let's change it, because we're going to put Milak and Seto. Let's go with Matt Richards here. And then let's go Dakota Luther, and then Chimrova. And now let's go, I guess we can put Maggie McNeil in here. And then Rosval, Mitch Larkin, Shane Ryan, Steenbergen, Pickram, Diaceto, and then Kawamoto, and then Tess Shooten, Van Eekirk, Corbo, and let's go with Pinzudi. And now let's go with Maggie McNeil, 100 for 50 fly, Erica Brown, Ben Proud, Kawamoto, Steenbergen, Leah Neal, David Popovich, Kieran Smith, and now I'll skip to the 400 IM, Pickram, Kappas, and then Seto, and I guess we're going to go with Kieran Smith as a 400 IMer. And then let's fill out the mixed medley relay. Let's go with Mitch Larkin, and then we do have Maggie McNeil already here, so we'll go with Rustful, Corbo, Shooten. Let's go with Gabby. I'm not gonna put Maggie McNeil. I'm gonna save her for the skins in case. So let's go with Neilak, Gabby Albiero, and then I guess we'll go with Erica Brown, and then put Matt Richards. We don't want Popovich. He's running 2-3. All right, and then the freestyle relays, go with Steenbergen. I'm not going to put Erica Brown in here, nor Meg McNeil, so I'm going to put Meg Harris, Albiero, Hindley, and I guess our B relay is going to stink it up, but Paige Bandon and Lanny Pallister, Leah Neal. Yeah, not a very. They're most likely going to get jackpotted, but it's whatever. So, and then for the men's relay, let's go Popovich. Let's go with Milak, I guess. And then Matt Richards, Brooks Curry. That's going to be a good lineup right there. And Simonas Bayless. Let's go with Hunter Armstrong, Jesse Putz, and then actually I'm not going to take out. I'm going to take out Hunter Armstrong, but Minikoff, just because he's in the 50 backstroke, and then let's go with Kieran Smith. So that's going to be my lineup. think that looks good. There are some flaws in our lineups. We have, Captain Dawson's a 200 backstroker, not very strong. There's a couple of weaknesses. We have Diaceto swinging 100 breaststrokes, even though he's more of a 200 breaststroker. But I mean, it is what it is. I think our relays are really stacked, so it's not. It's gonna make up for those weaknesses in the stroke event. So this is the line I'm gonna be rolling with. I'm gonna save it, and then let's see how we do at the end of the regular season. All right, so at the end of the year, we get Caleb Dressel as MVP. Rookie of the year goes to Phoebe Bacon, and then most improved goes to Louis Burris of Toronto Titans, and then GM and Coach of the Year goes to New York Breakers, which is us. All ISL teams, we have Schleisham, McNeil, McIntosh, and Lloyd King. On the A relay, we have Dressel, Chalmers, Murphy, and Klesnikov. And then B relay, we have Casadello, Smith, Tanik, and Militite, along with Shimanovic, Stewart, Milak, and Petey. And then for the C relay, we have McKeon, Alexiak, O'Callaghan, and Douglas, along with our New York Breakers, Diaceto, Fink, Gousset, and Evgeny Rylov. And then looking at standings, we were first overall, and you only lost one match. The most amount of points you can get is 24 points, so we did lose one match, got second in that match, but we did average the most points per match, 492 points, with Cali, London, and DC as the top four. And let's take a look at the All-Stars, or actually, let's look at the team stats. So we have Maggie McNeil as usual, getting 73.4 points per match, and then Christoph Mulek and Diaceto are two acquisitions from the offseason, contributing major points for our team. Then Ben Proud, Sidney Bikram, and then Mitch Larkin, Steve Berger, and Popovich. All right, so our All-Stars for the 2024 All-Star team. So we have Sarah Stroystrom and Caleb Dressel as the two captains. Looks like Mag McNeil is the runner-up for captain. And then see if you have other breakers, Christoph Milak, Diaceto. And see if you have any other New York breakers. You have Mary Steenbergen, Mitch Larkin, and then that looks like it's it. So David Popovich was snubbed again, so it is what it is, though. But I'm going to simulate the rest of the regular season, or the playoffs, and let's see how far we can go, and hopefully we can win a championship. All right, so just finished simulating the playoffs, and we did end up making the ISL final, but we did have to go through the play-in tournament to get there. So we are taking on London Roar, Cali Condors, and Energy Standard. So let's see how this goes. All right, so I'm halfway through the ISL final, and right now I'm just choosing the skins for the meet. I'm also choosing the skins for the men's skins. So, and I'm most likely gonna go with not the 50 brusher, but the 50 flaw, just because we have Ben Proud in that. So you might get some points. So let's see how the rest of this event goes. For the skins, I'm gonna put Maggie McNeil and Erica Brown, as well as Ben Proud and Kawamoto for the 50 fly skins. And let's see how this goes. Right now, at the halfway point, event 21 now, we are up by 47 points against London Roar, and Cali, I think they were actually first in the standings. Or actually London Roar, actually, but we were actually ahead, so I'm going to skip to event 37. 2 events before the skins, and let's see how that goes. And we're still up by 55 points about. Diaceto with a huge jackpot right there. And we're still up by 55, so I'm going to simulate one event by one. And hopefully we get good luck on the simulation and we don't get screwed. We do have Maggie McNeil, and who pulls up major points right there. So it looks like we're up by 96 points. And one more event to go, and barring anything crazy, looks like we're about to win the 2024 ISL Championship. So let's see how this plays out. And there it is. We just won the championship. Maggie McNeil is the finals MVP with 112.5 points for this match. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this final. Looking at this team, this is a really stacked team for the New York Breakers. We got McNeil. We drafted McNeil, traded for Milak, big blockbuster set though. We signed Mitch Larkin, and then we also kept Steenbergen, Tess Shooten, and David Popovich. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. I think the next video I'm gonna do is probably the next team of the DC Trident, whenever I decide to do that video. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.